So the MB in MBTI stands for Myers-Briggs. According to their official website, it says, the MBTI is a tool to enrich people's understandings of themselves and others. With it, we aim to inspire the world, one world at a time. From Stephen Colbert to business leaders, Oprah's interview with Nicole Kidman, to universities around the world, people are fascinated with the Myers-Briggs type indicator, also known as the MBTI. Now, it says the MBTI assessment is a psychometric tool that gives you insight into what makes you, you. By developing a clear sense of self-awareness and awareness of others, you're better able to frame decisions, reduce miscommunication, and understand personal needs more effectively. And this is a very popular website I've got right here. It's called 16 Personalities. We're going to be taking the free personality test, and to explain how I'm going to lay it out, each question has a series of circles. We have agree, disagree, or neutral. So I'm going to answer these honestly, and we're going to figure out what my MBTI is. Now in the comments, I'm going to have, or in the description I should say, I'm going to have a link to this website so you can take the test as well. So, let's begin. Question 1. You regularly make new friends. I'm going to go with disagree. Question 2. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I would say agree. Question 3. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally than by factual arguments. Neutral. Question 4. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. Well, disagree. It's actually kind of hard to keep spaces clean sometimes. I don't know. I think it's the ADHD. Question 5. You usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure. I would have said disagree before, but I would say agree. What question is this? Question 6. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Disagree, because I do these ASMR videos after all, and I hope I help people. And you can't help people if you're afraid of being around them, right? So next question. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. Neutral. I have a little bit of difficulty with procrastination sometimes. I try my best to make sure that things are as quick as I can, done on time, but sometimes, there can be things that fall through the cracks. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. Neutral. I try not to get in a way where I won't look at the actual stuff in front of me and just go solely based on emotion, but I can understand why people are more likely to have immediately emotional reactions, You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Agree. It's always good to have something written down so you can't forget it. I find that I have a lot of trouble sometimes remembering things, so it's nice to have that there in front of me so I know exactly what I need to do when. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I would say light agree. I try not to take it personally, but sometimes I do. It's mostly just like it's on me. So I think I have to try harder in a situation like that. Like letting myself down there. you feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Disagree. It can be a bit challenging for me in real life situations to walk up and talk to people, and for the most part I'm kind of happy keeping my distance in that way. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. Disagree. I think it's cool to have theory videos on fictional media like The Sopranos. There's a bunch of videos. During the pandemic, The Sopranos got really popular, and people would make up all these theories about stuff on the show and videos analyzing them, and I remember I watched, I think, pretty much all those ones. They're really good. Sometimes a bit out there, the theories, but entertaining nonetheless. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. Neutral. I don't really go that, what would that be, the Ben Shapiro thing? Facts don't care about your feelings, is that it? Nah, I mean, I try to just be neutral. I'm not gonna go one way or the other, because I feel like in a situation where you have to analyze something, either one can be an extreme. Do you get what I mean? If you go too far with facts, you kind of dehumanize the situation. But if you go too far with feelings, you might make the wrong decision. Do you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. That's the best way I can put it, really. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Disagree. Like I said, every day I try to have a schedule. I try to do my best to kind of fit in the deadlines, whether it comes to like if I have an appointment or there's something I want to do that day, or I have a grocery list. I try to kind of keep it all there just so I know, because whenever you go in the store and you don't have a grocery list or something, you find yourself forgetting something, but you can't figure out what it is until like 10 minutes after you left the store. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. Disagree. The people around you are crucial in how you're perceived. So even if you're introverted and don't like it, you'll want to kind of monitor that. You can't please everybody, of course, but my whole thing is I try to be kind to everyone who I interact with to the best extent I can. Everyone's human after all, so there's gonna be times when you come off as mean or something, but I try to avoid that. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Yeah, I like to have more than one opinion on something. I enjoy not having to shoulder every single thing, so I would say yes. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Neutral. I don't know. If there's something I have to do and I want to get it done, I'm generally going to go by the book. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. I would say neutral. Again, I try not to go too far on either way. If you're completely honest, sometimes you inadvertently come off as an asshole. And if you're completely, trying to be sensitive, you might not say what you actually intend to say. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. I'd say agree. It's not a huge thing for me, but I do like to sometimes kind of branch out and see if there's more interesting stuff I can focus on or learn more about. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Hard agree. I've always had really bad, hypochondria, they call it, and health anxiety and stuff, and just worry about my projects not turning out well or my health going bad. Meanwhile, during this time, I don't do much to actually take care of myself, which I think that's a flaw a lot of people have. But I was mentioning that in previous videos. You have to try and be present in the present, because if you think about it, there really isn't any past. It's gone. It doesn't matter. The only things there are present and future. But if you focus too much on the future, you won't get anything done in the present, and the past is irrelevant. At least in that way, you know what I mean? As insofar as like personal stuff, you can't really change the past. It doesn't exist in any real tangible way. I hope that makes sense. Aside from memories. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. Neutral. If I was into gaming, I'd like to do group stuff as well, but also solo games like scary games or puzzle games. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. Disagree. I don't know if they'd be good. I feel like the most I could write for a book would be like a splatterpunk thing that wasn't written very well, like that weird book Eat Them Alive. That was written by like, there was this old lady who was on like some sort of like an old women's book club, but she got banned because she wrote this book that was full of like weird violence. Like it's about like these giant praying mantises who come out of a mountain and then start killing people. It's a weird book. But I thought about making like movies and stuff. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a movie director. I've been watching a lot of Alfred Hitchcock movies. The thing about Alfred Hitchcock is his methods and like his ideas are very good, but he gets sort of miscategorized as a horror director when most of his stuff was like thrillers and mystery. Though if it was happening to you, I suppose it would be a horror situation. It just sucks that one, a lot of his projects got cancelled later on in his life. For example, Kaleidoscope, which was going to be, it probably would have helped his career a lot, but Frenzy was pretty good. Alfred Hitchcock Presents was good, also his old books, but yeah. I'd like to make a movie, but it would be very low budget, and due to my, like, I'm talking like shot on DV, digital video, and due to my introversion, I don't know how I would get a cast. It'd probably have to be very small. I think I'd probably make a giallo movie or something, which is like giallo is the Italian word for yellow. It's like a mystery sort of slasher movie, inspired by Alfred Hitchcock. So, you favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. Light disagree. I feel like if you get too based in efficiency, you'd be someone who would like fire employees just to get AI so it's cheaper. I feel like that's dehumanizing as well. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Light agree. I try to. I try to be productive and not have things like the dishes laying all over the place and stuff. Sometimes with ADHD it's difficult, but I've been in very clean houses and also hoarder houses. I've also been in houses by people who, they look down on other people, but their house smells like dog crap and dog pee. So it's like, this is the person judging you. I don't know. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. I guess. Light agree. If it's something really important to me, then, I'll try to prove my point, but I'm not in the business of making people feel like shit, You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. Agree. I don't really feel the need to introduce myself most of the time. I might if they come up to me or if I'm prompted to, but I'll usually keep to myself. Perhaps not the most useful trait if I wanted to make a movie or something. Your mood can change very quickly. Agree. Stress and stuff like that, it's not my favorite thing, but stress and things like that can cause that. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. Neutral. Again, I'll try to think of both things. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Neutral. Not often, maybe a little bit more than I'd like, but I try to fix that because sometimes the buck stops with me, so I want to make sure that I've done all I can to ensure things move at a good pace and are not procrastinated to the point where it makes me look bad, you know. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Light, agree. The world can be a pretty dark place, so I try to keep out of that whole thing nowadays. You usually prefer to be around others than on your own. Disagree. I do like to be to myself more often. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Disagree. It's okay to be like more out there and stuff and pondering on things. I think that's fine. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. Light, agree. Because I mean that your heart just goes with like your mind as well. So I find myself doing what I would be doing anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I would say that. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. Disagree. I've been making a lot of progress on that and try to push forward, persevere. You rarely second guess the choices that you've made. Disagree. There are times when I think that I should have done things better, though, as I was saying earlier, the past doesn't exist, so there's no sense in ruminating on it. So I only give it a light disagree. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. Disagree. I keep to myself usually, though I do try to be outgoing. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Strong agree. I've always liked art, music, movies, that kind of thing. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Neutral. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Agree. That way I can't forget something, or usually won't. You rarely feel insecure. Strong disagree. I feel insecure quite often. That's even why I try to improve my situation. I do need to get more in shape. I saw a picture of myself today and I dislike my figure. I kind of have the figure of Alfred Hitchcock. No offense to him, even though he's been dead since 1980. I don't know. You avoid making phone calls. Disagree. I see no problem with making phone calls. I even get calls from other people because my phone number is used apparently for like, you know, you get those phone scammers. People use my number to call people and then I get called back by these people saying I called them. And it's like, I don't know who you are. But I've caught on to their thing by now, so I just say, just block the number. What they do is they call and then it's like blank because they spoof your number. It's annoying. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. Agree. It's good to consider other sides of arguments or situations, other interpretations. You can easily connect with people you've just met. Light, agree. It's like a acquaintance kind of thing. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Light, agree. It's definitely a positive to stay on track. It's preferable to allowing yourself to get too far off track, in which case you'll become encumbered by other things, and it can wreck your progress. You are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. Light, agree, even though I said about the past. It's something I have to work on. You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. Disagree, strong disagree, but you have to focus on the present because the future isn't here yet. And it could be very bad or it could be better. Who knows? It's just very strange right now. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Neutral. Getting better at that. Used to be more controlled by emotions. Now I try to be more in control of the emotions. I'm sure Lexapro and all that makes that much easier, and ADHD medication, Vyvanse, as well as thyroid stuff. Methimazole, it's called. There's another one called levoxythyrene, but I believe that is for when it goes hypo. I have something called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what is most logical or efficient. Agree. Again, you want to kind of not be too emotional, but also not too mechanical. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I would say light agree, though I try to move away from that because I try to be professional. You want to set a goal and then accomplish it, right? You don't want to just spend your time kind of dilly-dallying or whatever. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Neutral. I try not to really care what people think of me. After all, you can't really have everyone like you. It's a lot like music or movies. You can't really force someone or make someone actually, I should say you can't force someone to like you. They can pretend to like your music or movies or anything like that, but if they don't really like them, they won't be able to pretend. So I think you could put that towards if people like you as well. There's some people that just won't like your face or something. You can't really do anything about that. The most you can do is not worry about it, because, again, life is too short to worry about things like that. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Neutral. It really depends. Sometimes you require the help of other people, or to have other people around. It's just better. It can be boring being by yourself. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Disagree. Obviously, if it's something very unimportant to anything, then maybe there's other things you could be doing, but whatever. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than to quiet, intimate places. Disagree. Sometimes it can be too crowded and too much going on, and it becomes an annoyance. Almost like overstimulation, just way too much. If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. Neutral. You can't just immediately act on something, but you also can't fully dismiss it, if that makes sense. You often feel overwhelmed. Agree. That's something I'm working on as well. But yeah, you kind of have to build up a tolerance for things. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. Disagree. I can be kind of chaotic about how I do things. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. I would say disagree. In a work situation, I do like concrete steps. In a situation of like art or something, then maybe I'll be a little more different, but I do like to follow steps there too, like a process. You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning while making a choice. Neutral. Like I said, you can't do one or the other too much because you don't think about logic, but also you can be too mechanical. You struggle with deadlines. Yes, most definitely. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Light agree. I worry about it, and I would like to live to be as old as I can, but so. We got INFJT. it says that is the advocate personality type. As an INFJ, you possess a unique combination of idealism and insight that sets you apart in today's world. Your rich inner life is characterized by complex emotions, vivid imagination, and a deep well of empathy that allows you to connect with others on a profound level. You have an unwavering commitment to your principles and an intense desire to make a positive impact on the world around you. Your natural ability to understand and interpret the feelings and motivations of others is both a gift and a challenge. While it enables you to form deep, meaningful connections and offer invaluable support to those around you, it can also leave you feeling overwhelmed by the emotions and needs of others. You often find yourself torn between your desire to help and your need for privacy and solitude. I'm 54% introverted, 70% intuitive, 55% feeling, 53% judging, and 71% turbulent. Your perfectionist tendencies drive you to constantly improve yourself and the world around you. This relentless pursuit of growth and meaning can be both exhilarating and exhausting. You have a knack for seeing potential possibilities where others might not, but you may struggle to bring your visionary ideas into reality due to self-doubt or fear of criticism. You possess a rare combination of creativity and analytical ability. Your intuitive understanding of complex systems and human nature allows you to devise innovative solutions to challenging problems. However, your sensitivity to criticism and tendency to internalize stress can sometimes hold you back from fully expressing your unique gifts. Learning to balance your idealism with practicality and self-care is a key part of your personal journey. Now, career path. Let's see. Strengths: insightful problem solving, dedication to meaning, thoughtful communication, high ethical standards, creative perspective, and reliable follow-through. Weaknesses: sensitive to negative feedback, struggling to delegate, overlooking small wins, discomfort with self-promotion, avoiding routine tasks, and idealistic expectations. So, we've also got strengths: reflective self-awareness, inner courage, deep imagination, openness to new ideas, committed to improving, and intuitive trust. And for influential traits: deeply empathetic, loyal commitment, encouraging growth, attentive listening, gentle honesty, and ability to create intimacy. And that means to create emotional connections, not the other thing. So, I'm going to leave in the description a link so that you can take this test for yourself and see how it goes. My initial one, because I've done this test before, my initial one was INFPT, but it's changed now, so that's cool. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that maybe it can get you thinking about where you lie on the MBTI. Let me know in the comments what you get. I'm interested to find out. And have a good day, night,